Hello everybody and welcome to my 9th annual Stuff Your Stocking Facebook Live. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I'm excited to be here with you for this annual tradition that I love to do each year. I hope you all had an amazing weekend and Thanksgiving. We spent some time here. We invited a couple friends over to our house for Thanksgiving dinner. In the morning, we served lunch to airmen that are single airmen that are living in the dorms. So it was really nice to be able to give back on Thanksgiving morning and then also be able to just celebrate with some friends. Now I'm just going to make sure that I'm live here on Facebook. I'm also live over on YouTube as well, so let's check that too. Looks like I'm live on YouTube there and live on Facebook. So let's go ahead and we're going to close those out just to save some of my bandwidth here. If you're watching, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody is joining me each week. Now, it is a little chilly here in Korea. Let's see what the temperature is right now. It's 34 degrees. It's Tuesday morning actually here. Hi Mom, Frozen, Iowa. She's from Frozen, Iowa. They are doing some flying right now. I think they may be, nope, there goes the plane right by my apartment. So it may get kind of loud. Usually it gets loud when they take off the most, but yep, I see him. He's flying right over my apartment right now. So usually when they take off is the loudest, but since they're currently flying, it may not be as loud. Today, like I said, my 9th annual Stuff Your Stocking Facebook Live. So what is Stuff Your Stocking? Each year I do a Facebook Live where we create little 3D projects that are perfect to fit in stockings and for stocking stuffers. These are simple projects to be able to kind of ramp up your gift giving and to be able to provide some fun, easy handmade projects for anybody in your life. These are perfect to give to a hairstylist, your dentist, doctor, anybody that you meet face to face as well. These are fun little gifts that you can give away during the holiday season. All right, so let's get started. I have just a couple quick announcements and one fun thing to share as well. So let's go ahead and swap the camera and we will get started. So let's see, I always hit the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. The first thing is, this is not the fun thing to share, but it is fun. Stampin' Up! Announced this morning from December 10th through the 12th, free shipping on orders of $75 or more. Now, just a disclaimer about this, these items that you purchase may not arrive before Christmas. So just keep that in mind if you are wanting to purchase these for Christmas gifts. $75 or more will receive free shipping. I'm excited because as a demonstrator, I get to pre-order from the January to April mini catalog as well as the January online exclusives offering. So I'm going to be placing an order for those items. Now, speaking of the January through April mini catalog, I have mine here. And if you reached out to me, I put you on my list last month and you will be getting a catalog. If you have not reached out to me and you do want a catalog, feel free to send me a message or email stampinblondie@gmail.com. Or there's a link in the description of this video that you can click and request a catalog as well. So I can't show you the inside of the catalog just yet until it starts in January, but this is what it looks like. Very fun. I'm really excited about this little stamp set that says Little Snippets of Joy. I like that. It's something different. And then I can show you the back side as well. So this is the January through April mini catalog. Like I mentioned, if you had reached out to me last month, I put you on my list to receive one. If you did not reach out, feel free to click the link in the description of this video to request a catalog and I will get one shipped out to you. Now, something fun I said I was going to share. So last weekend, my husband and I went to, well, actually not last weekend, Thursday and Friday last week, my husband and I went to Seoul, and he had to take his car into the Mercedes dealership for some maintenance, and it's really close to Seoul. So we just decided to spend the night there, and we went to our first Korean Christmas market. And it was really fun because living in Italy for 4 years, we went to European Christmas markets a lot. And this one, the Korean Christmas market, had a snow show every like couple hours where they would have like, it's not fake snow, it's real snow, but they would, like, you know, put it out there. So it's fake snow, but real snow. So we're there, and they have a huge Christmas tree in the middle, and this, it starts to snow, and we were all excited, and we're like, oh, it's fake because of the snow show that they were doing. But then we realized it started to accumulate on the ground, and it started to snow a lot. Come to find out, it was real snow, and Seoul was getting their first snow of the year. And so in about 3-4 hours, they got about 1.5 to 2 inches of snow. We of course were all dressed for it. We were ready because it was cold outside. But it's all gone now, so I'm happy about that. But what I wanted to share with you guys is, so in Korea, they have official documents that they sign. And when they sign these official documents, they have a stamp that has their name on it. And I was able to find, so my favorite Sanrio character. So Sanrio puts out like Hello Kitty stuff. And so if you're familiar with Hello Kitty, the company that makes her is Sanrio. Well, my favorite Sanrio characters are little twin stars. And in Korea, like I mentioned, they have those signature stamps. So when you assign official documents, you stamp your signature stamp on it to prove that it's you. And so I was able to get a little twin stars signature stamp. So it's kind of hard to see. I want to make sure I have it going the right way. So this is what it looks like. That is backwards, of course, because when you stamp it, it'll say your name. But that is Anastasia in Korean. And this is what it actually looks like. And I verified with Google Translate that that actually says Anastasia, so I made sure. But they stamp it in red ink. So this is my little twin stars is Kiki and Lala. So, and then it has like a little verification stamp on it. And then it's not rubber, it's like hard, maybe acrylic. But these are what they sign their documents with, official stamps. So what I'm going to do with this is, obviously I don't have any official Korean documents to sign, but I'm going to be stamping the back of my cards with this. So I thought this was a fun little kind of souvenir that's unique to Korea and unique to me. Like, nobody else can use this because it says Anastasia. And it's my favorite Sanrio character. So that's my little fun thing that I have to share with you guys. Unique and special, and really sentimental to me here. All right, jumping into our projects here today. So like I said, Stuff Your Stocking is my annual little boxes, treat bags kind of event. So we are going to be creating 3 different projects here today. Like I said, perfect for little stocking stuffers, little gifts that you want to give people. And only one of these has something in it. And that's because I wanted to show you different things that you can make to put different things in these boxes or treat bags. So this first one here, it's a little matchbox, and it pulls all the way out. This is perfect for like little earrings, or maybe like a little chocolate bar or something super simple to put in here. This is all made with designer series paper, so there's no cardstock involved on this one, and it's very simple to put together. This is a great project if you have scraps of designer series paper that you really don't know what to do with. This is the perfect project for that. Another little disclaimer, I'm getting new neighbors across the hall and they're moving in right now. So if for some reason there's like somebody just dropped something over there, I heard it. If there's like a loud noise, Beans may start barking. So hopefully I put him away. So he's in his little house right now. So he should be okay, but you never know. He's right next to the door. So, all right, this is a little kind of box that we're gonna create. Again, I left it open so you can see the inside, all designer series paper. This we're gonna punch holes and put a little ribbon here. And this is great because you can put like a K-cup in here, those Lindor truffles, the round truffles, candy fits in here, some little oh gosh, Yankee candles will fit in here too. So this is a great little box for a variety of different things. Again, easy to make and put in stockings. Now this is, I would say, the most difficult of the three. This is one of the things that I sold at my first vendor show here in Korea, and I wanted to share this with you guys too because it's a really fun gift, perfect for teachers, co-workers, just kind of a variety of people. So this is a little tea box and it holds 3 tea bags. It doesn't fold out all the way, so it's just a little box, and then we're gonna use this little die cut piece and it kind of holds it closed, and it's a very fun little accordion box. All right, so all 3 of these feature designer series paper. We're going to be using the North Pole Delivery designer series paper, and it also has some pre-die cut pieces in it, which are all of these little images. Now these sentiment pieces are from this Memories and More kind of sentiment pack, and it has both dark and light sentiments, so you can use a variety of different ones. Now I chose like sending hugs because this little guy can be used for a variety of occasions, not just Christmas, but of course we had to use the little dachshund from the North Pole Delivery on that little guy. All right, we're gonna work on the hardest one first. We're gonna do this little tea box here. And I wrote down all the measurements so you guys can follow along. So we have, and I'm gonna, here, you can kind of screenshot it if you want, and I'll go over all the pieces as we go through them. But you need a cardstock base. This is 3 inches by 8 3/4, and this is cherry cobbler. And we have the inside cardstock, so actually these 2 kind of pieces here, the accordion part. We have 2 pieces that are 3 1/16 by 3 inches. And then we have 4 pieces of cardstock, 3 1/16 by, oh, am I missing a piece? Oh, there it is. 3 1/16 by 2 7/8. This is gonna be our inside of the accordion, and I'll show you how all this goes together, of course. 2 pieces of designer series paper, 3 by 2 7/8. And then 1 piece that's 2 7/8 by 1 1/8. So here, if you want a screenshot, you can see all the dimensions here. Of course, we're gonna do some scoring and you'll see how all this goes together. We're gonna put our designer series paper off to the side because that's like the last part that we do. And we are gonna put these pieces, the 4 pieces that are 3 1/16 by 2 7/8, we're gonna put those off to the side as well. Now, every 3D project that I do, I like to use the scoring tool. So we're gonna get that out here, our score tool. And we're gonna score some pieces of cardstock here. So our base, which is 3 by 8 3/4, we're gonna score it on the long end. and we're gonna score at 3 1/8. Now the best thing about this scoring tool is that it's by every 1/8. So it's pretty easy to figure out where that is. So 3 1/8, and we're gonna score at 3 3/4, and again at 6 7/8, and 7 1/2. Okay, now while we have our score lines, you can kind of see it taking shape here. I'm just gonna fold them all in and use my bone folder to crisp up our lines. Like I mentioned, this is probably, quote, the hardest one of all 3 that we're making today, and even that is not hard. So, okay, you can already see there is the outside of our box, and we're gonna put this off to the side. Now we have 2 pieces of cardstock. These are the inside pieces, and they're 3 1/16 by 3. So you want to make sure the first piece you're going to score at the 3-inch side. It's very easy to get them confused because they are very close in size. So let me just verify with our ruler. There we go, our 3-inch side. Now on the 3-inch side, we are going to score at 3/8. So 1 2 3, at 1 1/8, 1 7/8, and 2 5/8. Right? Now we're going to take that piece and flip it completely over, just like that. And we are going to score on this side at 3/4, 1 1/2, and 2 1/4. So you now have that piece that looks like the accordion for the sides. And we're gonna do the same thing on this second piece here. Just measure, make sure you're on the 3-inch side. So I always like to write down the scores just and have them off to the side, just as I'm working along, in case I have a lot of score lines to do like this one, just in case I forget where to score. So I always like to have it written down and see exactly what I'm doing. So 3/8 of an inch, 1 1/8, 1 7/8, and 2 5/8. Flip that piece of cardstock over, score at 3/4, 1 1/2, and 2 1/4. All right, so we have our 2 accordion pieces, and we are going to turn this into our accordion. So we'll bring our scoring tool over here, and I really like to use a bone folder when you do 3D projects. And with this, because we have our score lines easy to see, you're just going to create that fold back and forth on your cardstock here. And you're going to do this for both. So this is probably like the most tedious part of the whole project, is folding these little folds down. And there. So once you have your accordion, you'll see one side has 3 peaks, and if you flip it over, one side has like 4 peaks. You want it to be on the 3 peak side. So we're gonna put that off to the side there. And we're gonna fold our next piece. Hello, Melissa. Emily says she wants one of those stamps too. I can see about getting one. They're really fun. It's just, they have different like designs, of course. But I just chose a fun design, and I was shocked that they could fit Anastasia on that. I mean, obviously Anastasia's not a Korean name, and their names tend to be very short. So when they got it on there, I was very, very surprised. Okay, back to our 3 pointed side there. And we're gonna use some tear and tape adhesive for this. I like tear and tape because it's very easy to put it together. You don't have to worry about having too much glue, not enough glue. Tear and tape is great for 3D projects. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna add some tear and tape here on the first fold, and then the second fold right next to it. From there, we're gonna go every other fold is gonna have tear and tape. And we're gonna do the same thing on this other piece as well. Okay, and you can flatten it out a little bit when you put the tear and tape on it. It's okay to be flattened out a little bit. Once we put it all back together, it'll kind of fold itself back in. Right. So these tea packets are great because you can decorate the outside depending on the tea that you put on the inside. So for my vendor show, I had gingerbread flavored tea, and I used the gingerbread stamp set, the bundle from the holiday mini catalog, to decorate the outside. So we had gingerbread tea and some fun little gingerbread packets. So we'll bring it back in. You can see what it looks like. It just tucks right in. And then you have, I had winter spice tea. Now, obviously, if I was making this for somebody, I would probably choose a tea that coordinates with the box. I didn't have any other like wintry kind of teas, and I didn't have any blue designer series paper to match what I was trying to work with. So, I mean, that's just me. I like to kind of keep it all coordinating, but you could really just use any kind of tea you want. All right, we are gonna take our 4 pieces of cardstock. These are the ones that are 3 and, let me just make sure. We've got 4 pieces that are 3 and 1/16 by 2 7/8. So we just want to make sure that they align with our piece of accordion. And I like to use my take your pick tool to peel off the backing from the tear and tape. It helps it peel off a lot easier. So you want this piece of cardstock, because it's not square, you want it to line up with this accordion. And we're just gonna peel off that first row of tear and tape, and we're gonna add our layer of cardstock in there and push that down. Now you're gonna fold your accordion back in, take off that layer of tear and tape, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're just layering on the cardstock where that tear and tape is. Right, peel, make sure our cardstock's going the right way, and add in that tea divider. And then the last piece here, this is where you have your double strips of tear and tape. So you put one down, and then this little flap here is just to kind of add an extra layer of adhesive and security for your pages. So you're just gonna fold that over, and you can see there is our first layer of accordion. All right, we're gonna flip it back over and kind of do the same thing on this side. So we are going to peel off our tear and tape. Start with your back piece. So where that double adhesive strip is, that's your front. So here's your back, and you're just gonna layer in your accordion. Now the middle two are kind of tricky because you got all this cardstock in the way, but you can just fold it in, and then kind of like a book, just fold it over. These ones, like I said, are a little tricky just because they're, I mean, you're working with a bunch of cardstock pieces here. All right, pull your tear and tape up, add in this, let's see here, you have to pull that layer in. It'll be kind of bubbled out, this layer, but you'll get it. Just gotta pull the paper a little bit. There we go. And then the top layer, same thing. We're gonna have that double adhesive front and back. And here is your last strip, and this goes over just like the last one, and that kind of holds it all together. So there is your accordion. So like I said, it's kind of bubbled out. You can push it back together, use your bone folder to crisp up the lines, but it's okay. Once you add the T into it, it'll lay flat. We're gonna bring back in our cardstock, again, Cherry Cobbler, and we're gonna add 2 strips of tear and tape to either side. It doesn't matter which side you use. So where's my start of my tear and tape? There we go. And as you can see, tear and tape is perfect because you don't have to worry about too much glue, not enough glue, and you don't have to worry about drying time either. And tear and tape is very sticky, so you don't have to worry about stuff coming apart either. So peel off our 2 strips here. And this is first, you're gonna line it up and adhere it to, this is the front flap of our T holder. So you're just gonna line that up, and then you can push it down. Same thing, tear and tape on the 2 sides for this one. I highly suggest if you make a bunch of these, assembly line style. So don't try to make one at a time. It'll take a lot longer. If you do like score all the front pages and then do all the accordions and then put it all together, it works a lot faster than trying to do one at a time. All right, and now you're just gonna gently close it and make sure it's all lined up, and then you can press it closed. So there's that. And now you have your little tea holders. So we're gonna decorate the outside now. Now I have, this is a Crop-A-Dile corner rounder, but any corner rounder that you have will work. I like to use the 1/2 inch size to corner round these edges. You can see we're gonna round the edges there. So there we go. And if you have a corner rounder punch, that will work. I used to have a corner rounder punch and it broke in Tucson. So one of my friends got me this, and I still think of her every time I use it. I make that look so easy. I'm telling you, once you actually put it together, it is quite easy. The accordion part is probably the toughest, trying to get it all folded together. But once it's all folded, it's quite easy, Teresa. Now we have this piece of designer series paper that we're gonna put here on the front, and I am gonna corner around those edges as well. So we'll just do that, and then we can use multi-purpose glue on that part. Okay, come on. Tested that out right before I went live, so I made sure it worked. That'll go there. Now we have those 2 pieces of designer series paper. One's gonna go on the front, one's gonna go on the back. And these are 2 different, it's not completely square. So just make sure your designer series paper is going the right direction. And this paper is called the Elegant Pine Snowflakes. So this one is in our mini catalog. I did not get the coordinating stamp set and dies to go with it because I already had snowflake stamps and dies. So I just opted for the paper, and sometimes that works the best for us. So we've got our back side here. Just gonna line that up. Now, when I sold these at my vendor show, I wrapped ribbon around here, but I've also seen these where you can take little teeny tiny magnets and you can put them here and here. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those, so I'm just working with what I have, and we're gonna use this little house kind of as our way to tuck the box closed. Now, this house is from the North Pole Delivery Designer Series paper. In the back, so let me get all this out here. In the back are die cut pieces. So there are these little guys, animals, and then there's also a sheet of houses. So let's get those out here. The houses are all the way in the back, but the animals aren't. So here's the houses, and we're gonna choose, I like this one. So I did this one here that has like the red roof. Let's do this one with the black roof this time. And they're just little pre-cut pieces that are great for designing cards because you don't have to stamp and color and do all that. So to make sure that it kind of tucks together, we're gonna add some dimensionals to the back of it. And we're gonna put it right. So I added dimensionals towards the bottom, and we're gonna add our house here so that it has enough space to tuck right under there. Now these sentiments, like I mentioned earlier, if I can find where I put them. Where did I put the sentiments? There they are. These sentiments are great because, again, no stamping. We already spent a lot of time putting this box together, and I just wanted a quick and simple sentiment to kind of put on it and then move along. So we have the one that says Happy Christmas, which if you are a UK watcher, they say Happy Christmas instead of Merry Christmas. And we're just gonna add dimensionals to the back of that. And that's just gonna go right at the top. So you have this fun little tea box, and you open it and it has space for 3 different tea packets. So you could put different teas in here. Those, what is it? The Biscoff cookies, the flat Biscoff, like gingerbread cookies would work in here too. You could do 2 bags of tea and a Biscoff cookie. But I just did 3 packets of tea. This tucks right in. You could put this in a little cellophane bag if you want, add a little ribbon or some embellishments, but that is our first project for this year's Stuff Your Stocking. I really like this one. It's fun. You can personalize it if you like the kind of, if you know the kind of tea that they like. And if you are just joining or you hopped on late, you can go back once this video is over, and I showed all the dimensions of the different pieces that you need to create that project, and you can go back and screenshot that. All right, next we're gonna create this little Matchbox book. Again, this fits some earrings, little chocolates, some fun little presents that you could gift to anybody. Now for this one, you need, this is all designer series paper that we're using for this one. So we have a piece of designer series paper, 2 1/4 by 4, or sorry, 2.5 by 4.5. You can screenshot this if you want to. So that is pattern A. That's gonna be our lid. So that's the lid part. Pattern B, designer series paper, 2.5 by 3.5. So here is this. This is gonna be the bottom box portion. So we have that piece. We have another piece, pattern A, designer series paper, 2.5 by 1.5. That's gonna go, sorry, I put it as, yeah, pattern A, but it's actually pattern B, whichever. You can flip it. It just goes on the inside of the box right here. So it really could be any side of the pattern. And then 1 by 5. And that's the little belly band that's gonna go around our box. Okay, so we're gonna take these pieces. We're gonna move our sentiments over here because we don't need them right now. And these 2 pieces we don't need. And we need our lid and our box. And we're gonna bring back in our scoreboard. Okay, our lid, we are gonna score on the long side. So we have our long side here. We're gonna score at, I'm gonna flip it over because we're gonna score it going out. We're gonna score at 1/2 inch, 1, 2.5, and 3. And that is our box lid. Now we have our bottom, and 2.5 by 3.5, we're just gonna score a 1/2 inch on all sides. So 1/2 inch, flip, 1/2 inch, not flip, rotate. Rotate, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Here we go. And those are our 2 scores that we need for this project. All right, we're gonna work on the bottom first. So we want this pattern to be on the outside of our box. So we're just gonna fold in everything using our bone folder to crisp up our lines. So let's flip that so if you need to see the dimensions, there you go. And once more, there we go. Now to create this little box, it's hard to see. Actually, it's easier to see on this side. We have these little squares on all 4 corners. Those are gonna be our tabs that we're gonna cut to fold up our box. So we're gonna take our first little square here and we're gonna cut up to the first score line. And what I like to do with my tabs is just take little angle cuts on the edge of each one. It just helps put the box together a little bit better. And we're gonna do the same thing on all 4 sides. So first score line, cut 2, and then those little notches to create the tabs. Now, because this box is so small, we are actually gonna use mini glue dots to put it together. Normally, I would use tear and tape to put together 3D boxes, but this is such a small box that we are just gonna use some glue dots to put it together. So here we have our 4 box pieces, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a glue dot to the outside of each tab, and we're gonna fold them in to create our little box. So we're gonna take our glue dots, and we're not gonna roll them into a ball. We're just gonna pick them up, put it on the tab, and then tuck that tab right in and press. Now with glue dots, again, you don't have to wait for anything to dry. It is all ready to go, and you don't have to worry about using too much adhesive. So there we go. 1 more glue dot on this tab. Now, like I mentioned, I normally, when I do 3D projects for like Makers Monday or classes and stuff, I like to put stuff in them to kind of see what, give you guys like suggestions. But for these projects, because stockings are such a personal thing, I didn't want to put anything in it except the tea holder, of course, because the tea holder is very specific. But like this, you could put, let's think of some things other than earrings to put on the inside here. Oh, it was, Josie asked me, where did I get my glue dot holder? So this is unfortunately discontinued from Glue Dots. But if you can find one on like eBay or I don't know where else sells things like that are discontinued. It's called the Glue Dot Desktop Dispenser. And if you find one, grab one because they're very hard to find. They discontinued them because the previous way that glue dots were dispersed is that the roll would have, as you can see here, the glue dots on the top. But because they switched and they rotated the way the glue dots are now on the other side of the paper. Every time I get these, I have to unroll my whole roll of glue dots and rewind it backwards. So that's why they are discontinued, unfortunately. So if you find one though, snag it because they're really hard to find. But Glue Dots Desktop Dispenser. So we have that little piece of designer series paper that I mentioned earlier. This is 2.5 by 1.5. We're just gonna glue that to the inside of this little matchbox. Again, you could use either side of the paper, but I wanted to use it to match this outside design. And it kind of reinforces it, holds it up just a little bit better when you add that in there. So we've got our base. Now our top part here. We've already done our score lines and we want it to score that way. So we're gonna fold it all in here. These are really quick to whip up too. Great for scraps of designer series paper. This is such a tiny project that, oh, I'm stuck. Tiny project that if you have a lot of scraps, this is the perfect project to use those scraps up. And it doesn't just have to be Christmas paper too, which is great. All right, why isn't my score line very good on this one? Where is my score line? Is it right there? It didn't score very well. I must not have pushed down hard enough, but we'll make it work. There we go. So here is our outside. Now we have this little portion right here which overlaps and it kind of helps bring the box together. We're gonna add a piece of tear and tape to the outside of that flap and that'll help keep it closed. Here we go. And that will just tuck right under here. So the best way to do this is to just kind of fold it in. There we go. There. So there is our little outside of the matchbox. And then this just tucks right in like that. Now when you pull on this, you just want to be very careful because those glue dots are, they're strong, but if you pull it too hard, it's going to rip your paper. So you just want to gently do that. Now our belly band, we did not score this and we didn't score it on purpose. So what we're going to do is we are going to create our own score lines by just gently wrapping it and kind of pinching the paper. And that'll tell us where to fold it. Now you don't want this belly band to be too tight or you won't be able to get the box apart. So we're just doing our gentle score lines here. And now you can see where you want to take your bone folder and create your own little lines. And what we're going to do is start that, make sure it goes around here and around there. So there. And our last score line is right there, kind of. So we have it wrapping around. Oh, here's the back. There's the front. Wrapping around. And there is a little belly band. Now we're just going to add some multi-purpose liquid glue to the base of that. Again, you don't want it too tight or you're not going to be able to get that box apart. So we just gently close it and push together. And we're going to put that off to the side while we get our sentiments together. So for this one, I chose Sending Hugs because that's still kind of holiday themed. You can still use that for the holidays. And we are going to use one of the darker sentiments on here. There's so many different sentiments on here, like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. These are great for beginner stampers or for those that just want quick and easy projects to be able to put together. You don't have a lot of time. Maybe you're wanting to create a bunch of these for teachers. This is the best way. Create the little box and then you don't have to worry about the sentiment. We are going to also use those little animals from the North Pole Delivery Designer Series paper, those little pre-cut pieces. Where are they? Right here. So I used this little hedgehog with the cute little, it's got like a little vintage letter with it. Now this way, this time, first one I did it where he was going towards the left. This one he's going towards the right. So we're gonna add dimensionals to the back of our sentiment piece. Just to pop that up a little bit. And then our little guy is gonna go over here on this one. And he's with dimensional as well. And there you go. And I think it's cute because it has the little vintage letter with it and sending hugs. It goes really great together. So this is our little Matchbox stocking stuffer. You can put some fun, like a piece of candy, or like I said, earrings earlier. I don't know, maybe if you find some fun, I have these like fun little different shaped paper clips. So maybe if you have somebody that really likes stationery, you can find some kind of fun paper clips to put in there. But that is our second project today with our Stuff Your Stocking project line. This one's fun, and there's so many different things you could put in this little box too. Okay, our last one is this fun little bag. And again, this one I did not punch and tie, but we're going to do that for this project because I wanted you to see the inside and how big this is. I mean, it's a pretty decent sized bag. So let's get the dimensions out for this one. You can take a screenshot when I've got it. You just need one piece of Designer Series paper, 6 by 9.5. And we're going to do some quick scoring on those, but just one piece of Designer Series paper is all you need for this one. So let's get the scoreboard back out here. All right, so on the short side, so we have our short side here, we're going to score at 1. Wait, I want it to go this way. This is the inside, so we're going to score it with that side up. We're going to score on the short side at 1 3/4. And then we're going to rotate and we're going to score on the long side every 2 1/4. So we have 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 5, 6 3/4, and 9. And that is all we need to do for scores. Very easy on this one. So I'm gonna flip it on this side since it's a little easier to see. Maybe, let's see here. Sometimes you have to kind of work back and forth to see where your score lines work a little bit better, but we are going to cut a little notch up here. And this corner, there's this is just where the 9-inch score line was. We're just gonna cut like a little notch, and that'll help it fold together a little bit easier. Now down here, this little box, we're gonna cut all the way off. And then at every score line up to the 1 3/4, we're gonna cut to that. It's hard to see on this paper. Plus I didn't push really hard on the score because I didn't want the paper to rip. So, and once more. Okay. And we're going to use our bone folder and crisp up all those lines here. Now you could have done this pre-cutting, but for me it's a little bit easier to do it after I've cut these tabs, just because it helps see where everything is once it's cut. Oh, they're taking off, so maybe, actually they're landing. Yeah, they're landing the planes, so it's not as loud. They're doing a bunch of flying this week, so definitely lots of noise going on outside. All right, so here is our basic bag that we have, and we have this little tab over here, and that is to help it come together a little bit easier. So we are going to add tear and tape adhesive to the outside of that little tab. And pull that off, and I found that once you just put that flap right over, make sure everything's lined up, then it's really easy to put it, close it all up. Here's the basic top of our bag, and we're going to work on the bottom here. You're going to tuck in to add tear and tape to this third flap. Just going to add one stripe of it will be good. And pull this off. And then tuck all of these in together. So there is the bottom of our box. Now you can already see it's taking shape, and all you have to do is just pinch the edges together, and now you have the basic outline of that box. Now I like to just kind of make sure everything is lined up, and there's the box. Now we're gonna go forward from where we worked here, and I have just a basic hole punch, and we're gonna punch 2 holes at the top. And that's where we're gonna thread our ribbon through. So I have some red linen thread or ribbon. And you may kind of have to pinch the ribbon and twist it a little to get it through. Now there's a couple different ways you can tie the ribbon. You can thread it around, you can wrap it. I'm just gonna thread it through and do a simple bow on mine. So pull that through. I'm just gonna tie a little bow. I used more ribbon than I probably needed, but I wanted to make sure I had enough to pull it all the way through. Come on. There we go. And then you can pull the bows how you want it. And then you have the top here. So we're just gonna decorate this. And from the sentiment, I chose the one that says, "Oh, happy day." Again, could be used for Christmas. It can be used for a birthday, just a variety of different occasions for this one. And of course, as somebody that owns a dachshund, we're gonna have to use that little dachshund guy here from these die cut pieces. So we're gonna use that guy here as well. So there we go. Oh, Beans heard something outside, so he's barking. I'm gonna add dimensionals to the back of all of these. He just wanted to say hi to you guys. And we're gonna put on the sentiment first, and that'll give us, we can add it a little higher because this one's closed, so we know where that one's gonna go. And then this little guy in his Christmas sweater, that's gonna go down there at the bottom. So now we have this fun little box that you can put candies in, you can put K-Cup. Like I said, those little Yankee candles works well in here as well. Just different little fun projects, pieces that you can put together in here, candy, coffee, whatever. So let's bring in all 3 projects that we worked on today, and you can tell me in the comments which one is your favorite. We have our little tea bag or tea box that holds 3 tea bags. We have the little matchbox that you can put earrings, chocolates, little fun notes inside, and then our gift bag that has Oh Happy Day and our little dachshund at the bottom. So let me know in the comments today which one is your favorite. I have to say I love all of them. You can really put some good fun little trinkets and gifts in these, and I love the way that they turned out. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for my 9th annual Stuff Your Stocking Facebook Live. I hope you enjoyed the presents today. As a reminder, December 10th through the 12th is a free shipping with Stampin' Up! On orders over $75. Just a little disclaimer that project pieces may not arrive before Christmas. I look forward to seeing you next time for Makers Monday, and until then,